And excitement of the opening round of EA Sports Supercross presented by Speed Stick. Hello everyone, Art Ekman along with former champion David Bailey welcoming you to another year of exciting Supercross action on ESPN2. David, the 125 class lost 3 former champions to the 250 ranks, graduating up. But we've got a lot of young talent, especially when you take a look at James Bubba Stewart. They tell me he might win it all in his rookie season.
Well, they can just delete the word might from that sentence because this kid is for real. I watched him yesterday in the practice session, his first chance ever to get in the stadium with the pros. And he didn't ride with the other 125s. He went out there and he reeled in McGrath and passed him, and then he went out there and horsed around for a few laps with Ricky Carmichael. This kid is unbelievable. He makes it look easy.
We could have as many as 9 former race winners at the 125 Western Gate here tonight as we open up. But I like Ivan Tedesco or maybe Rodrig THAIN to be right in there.
Well, of course, they're teammates now over at Yamaha Troy, and THAIN will be on the 4-stroke. So he should have a power advantage. And when this track starts to get slick, he'll also have an advantage there. But you can't count out guys like Brock Sellards. He almost won the championship here in the East a couple of years ago. So he knows what it takes to be there for the long haul.
Let's take a look at the Suzuki storyline then. Can the great amateur James Stewart live up to the hype entering the pro ranks? Will the experienced riders like Sellards, Buckaloo, and others step up to the challenge? And can the 125s pass the whoops test? That's one of the huge challenges we see on our Speed Stick track map.
Now, the whoops are going to be a real problem for the 125s. The guys that have a 4-stroke or the guys that have the KTMs look good through there. For whatever reason, they seem to have the setup. But to get into the whoops, you got to go over the tunnel and through a corkscrew. That's another new section that I really like. The whoops are right here. You can bet they're going to be tired in that corner, and they got to go right back through them again. We're going to see some block passes in the corners after those whoops. Of course, another triple there in red, and a long rhythm section all the way up to the finish line jump. These guys are going to get tired tonight.
Let's call on the 3rd member of our broadcasting crew, Davey Combs.
Last year, Yamaha of Troy's Ernesto Fonseca dominated the 125 West region on the controversial Yamaha YZ250F. What made it controversial? It was a 250 in the 125 class. Well, Fonseca's moved up to the 250 class with Team Honda, and Yamaha of Troy has entrusted this rider, Rodrig THAIN, with the YZ250F. Keep an eye on THAIN. He will have a horsepower advantage.
Here's our starting lineup for the first heat of the 125s. Rodrig THAIN, number 27. Justin Buckaloo got off to a hot start last year with 7 hole shots in qualifying and main events. 7 straight hole shots. You got Danny Smith, Preston, GOSSELAAR, Casey Johnson. Did not point out of the 125s after the 250 year last year. Decker, he was a test rider for Kawasaki last year. Broke both wrists after a 12th in the opener here in Anaheim last year. The top 9 riders in each qualifying heat go directly to the main event for the 125 Western opener. The rest go to an LCQ in which they pick 4 riders from. The top 4 getting the last 4 choices of gates. And you have the 22-rider 125 field compared to a 20-rider field in the 250s. Our 2002 EA Sports Supercross season just about ready to get underway. Are they getting a little more anxious as time runs on, David?
Well, you'd think after all the practices and the press day and all that they'd kind of be over it by now, but it's at an all-time high right now in the starting line. I'll tell you what, just to number 90 there, that's GOSSELAAR, just to his right, the same outfit, his teammate, number 29, Travis Preston. He won a Supercross in Houston last year after Langston threw it away with a half a lap to go. But what I like about Preston is he's tall, and he seems to be comfortable in his new ride. He's got a big advantage through both those whoop sections. That
was a historic win. Husqvarna's very first Supercross victory. 32nd board is up. When it goes sideways, the gate will drop within 5 to 10 seconds. And we'll get this season underway. This is a 6-lap qualifier. Watch for Buckaloo to get another great start. Danny Smith, he's a great competitor. Okay, now we're set to go. The board sideways, they're revving up. The season is underway. A good clean start with the exception of 2 riders back there, and number 27 The favorite, Rodrig THAIN, out of France, is out in front. But look at who's right behind him. Another quick starter, GOSSELAAR.
GOSSELAAR is so aggressive, too. He won't wait. He's going to try to attack when they go through the whoop section.
Danny Smith in third. GOSSELAAR still behind THAIN. Vicious whoops for the 125s. And THAIN goes into the second set with GOSSELAAR on the move down the middle.
That section, both of those are really going to take their toll on these guys.
Danny Smith now putting pressure on for second place.
Even in a 6-lap race, Art, these guys are really going to feel that section.
There goes Danny Smith on the Suzuki.
Danny's a little bit more steady than GOSSELAAR. GOSSELAAR's got the speed, but he's a little bit more erratic. He makes mistakes here and there. He's got the speed to make up for those, but eventually they wear on him. These guys might be able to pull away.
Last year, he rode for Fast 5 Parachi on the Husqvarna. He's on Amsoil Dr. Martins right now. As Danny Smith, you see on the Suzuki, number 37 on the yellow bike. Number 90, GOSSELAAR, right on his back tire.
You see that aggression I was talking about? He was rubbing his rear tire through that corner. You can feel that, the guy ahead. And Davey called it. The horsepower advantage paid off on the start. THAIN has been solid so far.
Not only that, but THAIN ran beautifully in Paris at Bercy, which is also a very tight turning track with an over-under.
He's got the skill. I don't care where you are. Outdoors, tight track. He seems to have adapted to the 4-stroke well.
That's GOSSELAAR, number 90, on the Amsoil Honda.
Really tricky jump right there as they come back in. That's where the start comes in. You go up an 8-foot hill right there, and you have to remember just how far to jump. If you overshoot that, you land out on the flat, and it wrecks the whole next straightaway. And since the riders fall in there, they've been asked to ride over the triple one at a time. That's a rule that keeps things safe for everybody involved.
Let's run down those in qualifying position. It's THAIN, Danny Smith, GOSSELAAR, Preston, and Casey Johnson, the top 5, with Isaiah Johnson, Buckaloo 7th, Harrison, and Lacey, the top 9.
Now remember I talked about Travis Preston. There he is in 4th. This
Here
guy
comes Smith. Whoa, he almost had a shot at him at the end of the whoop section. What a great qualifying round, our first of the season.
Preston had a bad start, Art, and he's caught this lead group. And he's making his time through the whoops. He might be able to pass all 3 of these guys in that section.
Danny Smith, number 37 on the Suzuki, has given us 2 of the most exciting races in 125s here at Anaheim that I can remember, but he hasn't quite won one yet. Poland 2 years ago, remember, beat him by about a half bike length.
In the final turn, and then last year a great battle with Fonseca. And here he is again, battling that 254 stroke.
THAIN handling the pressure well. GOSSELAAR tries to the inside on the Suzuki, but Danny Smith won't give it up. Here comes Smith. Smith to the inside, and THAIN gets it back. Smith goes down. Caught that back wheel, David.
Well, you can see he meant to do that. He didn't like being passed, and he had an inside line. Saying that Smith had nowhere to go.
GOSSELAAR has taken the lead from THAIN, and THAIN is having trouble now holding on to second place.
Well, here it is. You can see the THAIN right away goes for the inside. Smith thought he had it, and he figured that was that. But he should have known that THAIN had a lot of time to get back to the inside right there. He just wasn't ready. He'll be ready in the main event, but he's not going to get a good starting pick. That could be the difference. THAIN already is strong enough on the start. You can't give him any extra.
It looks like he got up and running at about 6th or 7th place. And remember, we qualified 9 out of this heat.
Now, he'll make it to the main, no problem, but it'll hurt his starting pick. How they finish out of here determines where they line up.
2 laps to go. GOSSELAAR, THAIN, Preston, and Casey Johnson. GOSSELAAR out in front, and look at 29. Preston moving into second place with THAIN, number 27, on the Yamaha in 3rd. So THAIN starting to fade a bit, but GOSSELAAR now starting to get pressure from the guy you pointed out, Preston.
He's got 1 lap to try to make it happen in that whoop section. I don't see it anywhere else. The whoop is a great place to pass, and the reason why Preston is getting through there so well is he's a little bit taller.
Final lap, white flag lap, David.
He's got little bit more travel in his body.
Travis Preston was the third different winner in the 125 West last year. Gosselaar, he had a good full season. Gosselaar battling it out with Preston, number 29. Gosselaar was just happy to finish the season uninjured as they battle it out in the whoops. Gosselaar was leading a race in his last race in Paris, France in the offseason when he went down very hard. He had his arm in a sling and with a very sore shoulder coming out of that, but it's rehabbed beautifully. And there it is, the checkered flag. Chris Gosselaar wins the first qualifying heat of 2002 Supercross. Preston a very close second place as we check out the Honda heat results. Gosselaar, Preston, Tain, Casey Johnson back in the 125s, Isaiah Johnson, Justin Buckaloo, Smith made it. Harrison and Short qualifying. McGavran has to go to the LCQ.
Christopher, what a way to start a season.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, I just had so much fun out there battling with those guys. My bike's just awesome today.
Can you do it again, the main event?
Yeah, I think so. I felt totally good that time. My teammate Travis Preston's right behind me. Our bikes are just so good this year. And I'd like to thank Honda, Amsoil, Doc Martens, everybody who helps us out because we got an excellent team this year.
Good luck in the main event, Christopher.
Thank you very much.
We've got a stacked list of riders here in the second lineup. 6 laps to go, 9 riders to qualify. Ivan Tedesco, look at Pingree, and you got Bubba Stewart. 2:59. Watch that kid. Sellards, Morris looked very fast in practice. Casey Lytle, the Johnson brothers, Kevin and Keith, Matt Walker, Olaf Flores, and the rest of the 20-rider field, including Bobby Bonds, who had some crash time during qualifying earlier in the day.
He's been down twice through the whoops, once on the start in his preliminary qualifier. There's Ryan Morris right there, number 160. And I'll tell you what, keep your eyes on that guy. Another one, Stewart, 259. Don't let the number fool you. The guy looks like he should have a number 1 on there already.
I had to laugh at Ken Griffey Jr. He says, I wouldn't let anybody beat me with paint on. Actually, it's fuchsia, as James pointed out to me a little later.
Well, you'll find out in a minute. James is the one guy here that can pull that off.
Heat number 2 of the 125s from Anaheim. Round number 1 of the 125 West underway. And what a collection of bikes in that first turn.
Including Stewart. Stewart got shoved wide.
Getting up.
You can't miss that fuchsia.
Stewart pushed wide. And it's David Pingree who's our leader, number 39 on the KTM. David, you said his experience might count big time this year.
Well, he's won here before. He almost won the championship. And he's got a Supercross-only contract and a fast bike. Those KTMs are unbelievable. Keep your eyes on Tedesco, though, number 45. He's a new man from last season. And
he's in third place behind number 59, Casey Lytle, a one-time winner already in 125 Supercross. So it's Pingree, Lytle, and Tedesco. Watch for Tedesco to possibly try to make a move as Bubba Stewart tries to make his way up through the pack. Check it out again, David.
Well, you'll be able to see Stewart right here. They get shoved a little bit wide. Pingree gets a decisive hole shot right there. Nowhere for Stewart to go. He tries to get up the hill, nowhere to go, off the side. He did a great job recovering. He straightened the bike out, and he's already starting to pass people. They're just to the right of the screen. He just couldn't get up the hill. He actually got locked with another rider, and that just pulled him over to the right.
So it's Pingree, Lytle, Tedesco, Brandis, Sellards, and Akira, Narita Akira from Japan. Before the Japanese season starts, he's here in America getting some experience. There's Stewart coming up through the pack.
He's already passed 6 riders. He's passing them in chunks. I don't think he's going to have any problem getting into the top 9. The question is, how far up can he get? Can he catch the lead group?
He started back in the race in 16th position as we take a look at Pingree going over the big jump. Pingree, he's getting some action right behind him right now as Ivan Tedesco has moved into second place in front of Casey Lytle.
I saw Tedesco out doing a little bit of training, and I you know, the new number, I'm like, who's number 45? That kid's got it together. And I realized that's Tedesco. He seems to be riding with a new level of confidence. Teammates with THAIN on the big Yamaha Troy team that's been very successful over the years.
These two are out in front. Here comes Tedesco. Can Pingree hold on to the ropes? Yes, he does.
That's just one set.
Here comes set number 2. Tedesco's a very strong athlete. Pingree looks back at him. He can feel the heat right now.
Pingree's improved his fitness from last year.
Stewart up to 11th place. Can he make it to 9th with 4 laps remaining, 3 laps remaining? Here's Stewart coming through the whoops now.
Side by side with 333. That's Turbo Reef. Makes quick work of him.
And he's got Akira right in front of him.
The last couple times over that triple, he's not looking at the riders ahead. He looks clear over to the right and see the leaders coming over the finish line. He's keeping tabs on where the leaders are because he believes in himself so much. And a first turn crash won't hold him back. He still thinks he can win.
Here's our leader, David Pingree. Pingree, best race last year, was the opener right here at Anaheim, a 4th, and then he injured his ribs. Had him struggling the last 3 races of the season. Tedesco on the number 45 Yamaha.
Really impressed with Pingree. I saw him out training on the big Supercross track nearby. And
his first win was back in 1995, David, in San Jose. He won at Minneapolis in '99, and his 3rd win, 125 win, was right here at Anaheim.
Well, he introduced me to his trainer, and I know he's serious. The Supercross only contract to get a little bit more time to focus on just this series, which he loves, and he's got experience in.
Stewart goes down just as he was getting ready to move into 9th place.
He rung his bell a little bit that time. He fell hard on the side of the bike. He's going to be in the last chance qualifier. There's no way he can get up now and stay in the top 9. We're seeing a similar thing that we've seen from all the guys that come in with all the hype and expectation. The same thing happened to Carmichael. He crashed so many times in his first race and didn't want to talk about it. He got sideways as he went for that double out of the corner. See the way he landed with his head on the side of the front wheel right there. He took a good blow to his head.
So David Pingree, our leader, a runner-up in the 125 West in the championship race back in the year 2000. And Tedesco, still, they're just 2 riders with turns from the rest. Lytle still in 3rd, Brandison 4th, Sellers in 5th. Travis Elliott moving up to 6th now. Let's see what Tedesco, if he can do anything now with 1 lap to go.
Pingree's been solid, and you know what surprises me is I really thought when I watched these guys ride about a few weeks ago, I thought Tedesco had the edge, but Pingree's really picked it up. I never saw him really put any solid laps. He just rode around a lot. Tedesco, on the other hand, put in a lot of hard laps.
Tedesco not quite close enough yet. Pingree holding on to the ropes, coming out bar to bar.
That's a perfect block from Pingree. That's the experience paying off right there.
Tedesco looking hungry, but he's running out of time as the checkered flag flies. It's David Pingree. Pingree, our winner. Tedesco in 2nd place. He'll get a good gate choice out of that. Michael Brandis moving up to 3rd with Sellers in 4th. Checking out the Suzuki official results. There you see Lytle in 3rd, Elliott in 4th. And Michael Brandis in 5th. The new kid on the block, James Stewart, has high hopes for the 2002 season. Family friend Ken Griffey Jr. is helping him out a bit. They joked about each other's ability to play baseball and ride bikes. James Stewart is our EA Sports Rider of the Week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can say that. There's certain things on here I would not do, like mainly the triples and doubles, but I can roll up and down the hills a few times.
We've been taking all the doubles out here lately at my track, so making some tabletops, but he's better than an average. Well, I wouldn't say that. He's better than I thought he would be.
He hadn't had a chance to hit sliders and curveballs and things like that. I took him out in the batting cage behind my house and said, here we go. And he was like, oh, this is a little too fast, so I turned it down turned it down to about 70. And he started hitting us. Just think about hitting everything on a slice. He's like, what do you mean, hit everything that way to right field? Then he got the hang of it, and then I said, now pull it, and he got jammed.
I can't hit a ball to save my life. But it's fun because I give those guys a lot of credit to hit those 90-mile-per-hour balls and stuff.
All kidding aside, Ken just wants James to have fun.
And this is exciting for us. You know, watching him for the last 2 years grow till now, coming to the big event. And I told him if it was during our baseball season, I'd have to call in sick so I can watch it on TV. But you know, I'm glad that I can be a part of this. I mean, this is exciting for him and his family, and we're hoping that he does well.
I wouldn't say I'm like really nervous, but I mean, it's on my mind. But when I get down there, when I went to ride today and I was down there on the floor, I blocked everything out and I was just having fun on the track, which I thought that was pretty cool because I thought I'd be really nervous going out there. But I'm not too nervous.
Hopefully he does well. I mean, this is his first race. I know he's going to be nervous. I mean, like everybody else is. And hopefully he goes out there and puts on a good show. If
I win, I mean, I want to win, of course. And I just want to go out there and have fun, really. And I think, I know I can win the championship just as long as I keep my head together and do the best I can do.
James certainly knows how to win. As an amateur, he won more than 90 races last year. He's a pro now, and he's letting it all sink in.
When I was coming here, I was thinking about it, and then when we got dressed and went down the route the track, and it was like looking up and seeing all those empty seats and waiting for Saturday to come and looking up and seeing all those full seats. It's starting to sink in now, but it's the same as when I was riding with Red. It's just go out and have fun.
James laughs when asked about himself.
I don't know. I don't really like that kid. I don't know. I'm just an ordinary kid.
James Stewart is making his pro debut tonight. Earlier, we asked other 125 riders how they thought he'd do in his opening night.
Well, I think it's going to bring some excitement also to this, you know, another aspect to our sport. He's getting a lot of publicity, and which is good for our sport. But like he has to go out there and take off the line just like me and every other guy.
Well, the challenge is coming in the pros as a rookie. You know, I was a rookie last year, and I dealt with all that. I mean, the pressure's different. You're racing in front of 70,000 people. It bothers some people, and it don't bother some people. So. I don't know, we'll just have to see how he handles the pressure.
He's a rookie, won a lot of amateur titles, but coming into the pro ranks, it's a whole different deal, so it's going to be tough, but hopefully he's second behind me.
Joining us on our broadcast team this year is former champion Jeff Emig to give us his unique insights into the world of Supercross, and today he takes us through the rhythm section on tonight's track.
We're going to be taking a look at the rhythm section. This section is 9 jumps that vary between 3 and 5 feet. But how you take the rhythm section depends on whether you enter on the outside or the inside. If you take the outside, you're going to double the first 2, double the second 2, throw in a triple, and then double out. But if you take the inside, which is going to be a little bit tougher, you're going to roll the first one, double the second 2, and then throw in 2 triples. Those 2 triples are going to keep you a little bit lower, and you're going to take 1 extra jump. So keep an eye out tonight when you see a guy ducking to the inside that he might be trying something very difficult to make up a little bit of time.
Despite his troubles in the qualifying heat, James Stewart came back winning the LCQ to qualify for the main event, along with Michael Young, Tiger Lacey, and Eric Viejo on the Honda starting grid. Pingree, Gosselaar, the 2 heat winners, Tedesco, Preston on second in their heats. As we go down the line, Rodrig THAIN, Sellers, Casey Johnson back in the 125s. It's not unusual to win a 125 race, even though you go to the LCQ. Ernesto Fonseca did it twice on way to the 125 Western Championship last year. We'll see what can happen to James Stewart as we're off and running. The main event for the 125s. And the season opener. Oh, Pingree got the great start. Pingree gets the Powerade Hole Shot Award. $1,000 for David Pingree.
There was a big jam up in the first corner that involved Tedesco, one of the favorites. Also Stewart, who had to start on the far outside, got collected in that, but he broke free. Still well back in the pack right now.
There's Ping, number 39 on the orange KTM, coming through the tunnel. Pingree with lots of experience. His first win was in San Jose back in 1995. The problem has been with David Pingree, so many injuries that he hasn't pointed out in the 125.
And also the year that he almost won this title, he wasn't able to get through the first corner clean, but not the problem here. He's got the start he needs. He's got the experience to hang on to this. THAIN back there on that four-stroke may have a little advantage as this track gets more slippery, also in the whoops.
Number 27 on the Yamaha. And a heck of a block pass for third as we take a look at THAIN in second place.
So much hype on Stewart. He's nowhere near the front runners right now.
Really got the mid-pack start after his difficulties in that first turn. I wonder if he'll put added pressure on himself as a rookie.
He's pretty smart. Now, I like the way they run things over there at Yamaha Troy. They've had good success in the past. But it's the veterans. Sellards, Pingree, THAIN, these guys have been the ones that have been established in this class. They're keeping all the newcomers at bay.
Here comes Brock Sellards, number 18 on the inside. The teammate of Pingree at KTM. Pingree, number 39, the leader. THAIN in second place. If there was a most improved rider honor to be awarded last year, it might have gone to Rodrig THAIN. He just got better race after race, David.
And he seems to have even more confidence coming into this season. Also his teammate Tedesco, who had problems in the first corner. He's been a completely different rider this season from what I've seen in the practice yesterday and also in the practices this afternoon in his heat race. Completely different rider.
Number 18, you see him there, Brock Sellards. Brock was the Prince of Percy. That means he won the 125 division. The 125s in the Paris Supercross have 6 races in 3 days. Here's James Stewart trying to make his way through the whoops and get up into contention. Stewart running well now.
He's all the way up into 11th. But what's impressive is that while he's coming through traffic, his lap times are faster than the leader. So he could join this group within a few laps.
And the crowd is on their feet for James Stewart. Brock Sellards, the block pass on THAIN, and Brock Sellards moves into second place. KTM's in first and second.
Well, THAIN dished a little bit of that out in the heat race to Danny Smith, so now he's getting a taste of it. I'm impressed with these KTMs. I mean, these guys have got the bikes sorted out. They're really set up well through the whoop-de-doos. Good starts. These guys got the power. I felt like at the start of this 125 main, the KTMs and the four-stroke were going to have an advantage to the whoop section, especially since it's back-to-back, and they're proving it right now.
There's Sellards now. Looks like he wants to put a little bit of pressure on his teammate, David Pingree. As Rodrig THAIN settling back into third. The two KTMs are going at it right now. GOSSELAAR comes into the picture. Here's Sellards to the inside. A new leader now, the 125 opening round on the season. THAIN trying to take advantage of Pingree as well. Back and forth we go.
KTM has to be happy with this effort. Running 1 and 2. The other rider on the team, Billy Lanovich, it's his first pro race. He wasn't able to make it into the main, but he had knee surgery just a couple of weeks ago, so they didn't expect very much out of him. But look who's joining the pack. There he is, 259. Stewart, from a terrible start, has a chance to win this.
Stewart joins that lead pack as number 18, Brock Sellards, did not win a race in Paris. Tedesco and THAIN won the races, but he was the most consistent. He did not have the bad day. James Stewart trying to recover after the slow start, doing a beautiful job. Oh, Sellards went down. Brock Sellards hit the deck.
And there goes Brandis. So hard to get back into your groove after you fall like that, especially when you got challenges right away. So that may cost him the win right there. These guys still have that great pace going. It's going to take him a few laps to get back into it, and they'll be gone.
Pingree, THAIN, and GOSSELAAR now the top three. David Pingree. Oh, they almost touched rubber that time as THAIN comes back on his rear. Number 39, Pingree. 27 is THAIN. And look at GOSSELAAR, number 90 in the whoop section. GOSSELAAR letting it all hang out. Goes to the outside, cuts up, and Gosselaar is taking over the lead. Incredible. Look at James Stewart. James Stewart moving into third.
Gosselaar has proven right now that heat race was no fluke. This is the most consistent ride I've ever seen from him. Usually he's a little bit more like kind of having the nights that Stewart's had so far. A lot of crashes. So far, so good. His dad will be proud.
His dad, Mike Gosselaar, a technician with Team Honda. Here comes Stewart. Oh, and the fans are loving this one.
And you see him looking to his right. He doesn't care about the riders that are right in front of him. He's looking to where the leader is. That's all he cares about right now is what it's going to take to win this race. He doesn't have to look very far ahead.
Stewart signing with Team Chevy Trucks from Kawasaki. Right out of the amateur ranks. Gosselaar. Look at Stewart battling for second with THAIN. A good move, very similar to the one Gosselaar made earlier.
Stewart was right there, able to see what Gosselaar did. That's a big, wide corner where he could see that THAIN was committed. Clears his vision and goes after the lead. The corner speed from Gosselaar is just as impressive as what I've seen from, that's what Stewart is known for, the corner speed. Even more impressive than Carmichael, they say, at that age. But Gosselaar is matching it.
Gosselaar, Stewart. Well, it's got to give the young man, the 16-year-old, lots of confidence to be able to come back from a slow start and contend for the lead. There's THAIN, number 27. Oh, and Stewart goes down. The bike toppling on top of him.
That's been a great line for him. He's been able to get his way through the pack with that outside line, but you can't do it if you're following. And it looked like he made contact with Gosselaar there, and that's what actually sent him over the bars. He did get down deep into that woo, but I think when he hit the rear wheel of Gosselaar, that just stopped him.
Let's check it out once again.
Yeah, here's another look. He's following. Watch his front tire. It's going to drop down deep into this whoop right here, but he does hit the rear wheel, and that just sends him right over the bars. He's already crashed twice there this afternoon.
Number 39, David Pingree, coming up in that whoop section to pass, along with Travis Preston as well, before Stewart can get back on the bike and moving again.
Really gives you an idea of how deep those are. See a rider go. In fact, in practice this afternoon, a rider went down right in front of Stewart, and he jumped right over the bike. He seems to build confidence with each lap. And, you know, it could be that THAIN is back there going, hey, this is the first race of the season. He's been bumped around quite a bit already in this main event. Maybe he's just settling in. He doesn't have any pressure from third. I don't think he wants to get up there and dice with Gosselaar, who's been known to get a little squirrely from time to time. Probably playing it smart here, hoping Gosselaar makes a mistake.
Gosselaar, number 90, right there. And you see the lap times on the Honda stopwatch. Number 27, Rodrig THAIN, out of France. The third different brand of bike he's raced in the United States in his young 125 career. Let's go to Davey Combs.
Well, a lot of guys down here are talking about James Stewart's big crash, but guys, he has gotten back up and moved his way into fourth. Keep this in mind. Fourth place is where Travis Pastrana finished in his first Supercross race, and when Ricky Carmichael had his first race in 1997, dead last.
Here's Stewart coming up through the pack. Must be a good confidence builder, David, though, to see, not get the great start, but to be able to know that you could pick up on these leaders and get back into contention as we see Gosselaar coming over the jump.
Well, you can see the lap times right there from these guys, 57s, 58s, and Stewart's been able to turn a second to a second and 2 seconds a lap faster than these guys this whole race through traffic, even after crashing. So he's been able to rebound from his mistakes. It's just that he's made too many to really have a shot at the win here. But, you know, just like Travis had problems, Carmichael had problems in his first race, finishing last. Stewart's going to do a lot better than that. He's still in contention for the championship. That's what he wants.
This is one of the best races of this young man's career. He had a good full season last year, which is unusual because he's had injuries that have plagued him earlier. 2 podiums last year, Minnesota and Irving at Texas Stadium, as he comes through the whoops.
That whoop section is starting to really, I can see GOSSELAAR is hesitating a little bit through there, and now that THAIN seems to be pulling up a little bit more, making a last-ditch effort. You can see 2 laps to go. He's going to try a little something here, so GOSSELAAR can't let up too much.
The track this time of night here in Anaheim looks like it's getting slippier.
That should be to the advantage of THAIN, having that 4-stroke, but he's just not close enough to GOSSELAAR. He's got to get a lot closer to have a chance. Only 1 lap to go.
So Christopher looks like he might have this locked up on the final lap. Hold it together. And he's won his first Supercross of his young career.
Just got to go through this section one more time. And he's...
Whoa, look out. GOSSELAAR. And Rodrig THAIN is able to take advantage of it. Cutting to the inside. Here comes GOSSELAAR back. And GOSSELAAR ran right up his tail.
Now Preston, who was in 3rd, might get around them both.
Travis Preston and Amsoil Honda. Doc Martens, yes. He moves into 1st place on the last lap.
And Stewart moves up as well from 4th to 2nd.
How similar is this to his first win ever on Husqvarna last year when Langston went down in Houston?
He put himself in position.
Travis Preston takes the checkered flag.
He doesn't even know. He's looking, did I win?
He put himself in position to win. You're absolutely correct, David. Just as he did in Houston when Langston had the last lap crash. I think the Whoops won this race. Travis Preston, victorious for the 2nd time in 2 seasons.
Well, GOSSELAAR gets out of shape. It's harder to go through those slow than it is fast. You see, he can't get going again. There goes THAIN to the inside. Now, great rebound from GOSSELAAR. He had the right idea. Going down the left side, he has a clear shot, but THAIN could hear him coming, wander to the left, and they both go down.
Well, Travis got a slow start on last season before his very first Supercross victory, but he gets a quick win here tonight in Anaheim.
Watch this collision right here. THAIN has no idea he's going to get plowed. He looks back on what happened. Gives up the main event win right there.
That's got to be frustrating for Rodrig THAIN.
And GOSSELAAR. Both those guys.
Whoa. THAIN looked like he rammed him a little bit. Forgot to put on the brakes.
They got to keep those guys separated.
And there's James STEWART. He was able to take advantage of the crash. Looking at the Suzuki results page, the young man is at the right place at the right time. I'm talking about Travis Preston, his 2nd career victory. What an unexpected finish to all of this in the 125 West opener, David.
Well, you know, this could prove to be a breakthrough win for Travis Preston. It's the 2nd time this has happened to him. Last year in Houston, he kind of fell into it. This time, he was strong in the whoops all night. He worked his way up in the heat race. He worked his way into position in the main event. He knows he was fast, and nobody understands the concept better than Travis. It ain't over till it's over. And for James STEWART, he's for real. He rode every lap. He never got tired. He was the fastest rider.
It'll be interesting to hear from Travis Preston as we go to Davey.
Travis, that was an unbelievable finish. I thought we'd seen it all when you won against Grant Langston last year, and then you come back and it's an even bigger last lap. You passed 2 guys.
Yeah, I don't know, you know, same thing again, but even better. I was in 3rd and I was really far back. So I've just been getting really lucky lately, and I just ride my own race and have really good luck.
Good job.
Thanks.
So after our opener, the Suzuki points list, 25 points to the winner, Preston. He was 17th here last year. STEWART finds himself wiser and only 3 points off the lead in the 125 West. And with him right now is Davey Coombs.
James, you didn't win that race, but I think you just made yourself 45,000 new fans.
Yeah, man, the crowd was behind me the whole way out there, and my bike was working awesome. I had a little bit of trouble tonight trying to keep it on 2 wheels, but it was my first race, and I'll be back good at San Diego.
Fantastic debut.
Thanks.